On today's show, we have a dear friend, a mortgage lender, and an all-around fantastic conversationalist. I'm very grateful for his time. It's the one and only Mortgage Mac.
No brains, no headache, living fast on a mistake. No brains, no headache, ride the chaos till we break.
Andy, you made it to the studio, man.
I did. It feels good to be here, man.
Happy to have you here for another recording of No Brains, No Headache, an interview with my good friend here. I call him Andy. What's your legal name?
Andrew.
Yeah,
but no one really calls me that.
I was calling you Mortgage Mac for a while there.
People do call me that.
Well, it says it on your hat right now.
It does. My name tag. No, it's funny because people will, I don't know, a lot of people just somehow gravitate towards my Instagram name. So they call me Mortgage Mac, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I made mine Jordan Von Weichel, not my legal name any way, shape, or form. And then I did a networking thing one time back home, and they introduced me, and it was Jordan Von Weichel on the big screen. Yeah. They clearly just looked at my Instagram and were like, oh, it must be his name. It's not my name, but I just added it.
What's that from? Von Winkle.
Well, I always said Weichel is a very German last name. So I've always my name is.
Think you're a Nazi.
My name is Jordan Von Weichel. You know, yeah. That's how I imagine if I was born in a certain era, they would say my name, turn the W into a V, Von Weichel. But I don't know, catchy.
Yeah,
you know, just rolls off the tongue.
It does.
But I was telling you earlier, this is the earliest podcast / interview I've ever recorded. It is.
I feel
10:37 a.m.
That's not early, bro.
I mean, for a podcast, I'm used to, because a lot of recordings just happen in the evenings, after work hours. So,
yeah.
But no, I'm glad.
I wouldn't know. You're the podcaster, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, for me, if it was my full-time job, then we could record it at any time, any day.
Maybe
much.
It needs to be, bro.
We'll get there. I mean, when all the mortgage mackers give No Brains, No Headache a follow, we're gonna go to the moon. So
follow us, so he doesn't have to go back to work.
That would be awesome if I did this. And I mean, if you could tell by the setup, this is like a full-time job. I had to make a studio. Really to drop a nice shiny dime on all this equipment. So
awesome.
I'm glad we could make it happen.
I was telling you earlier, I was like, hey, maybe I should start a podcast. I mean, everybody wants to start a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they realize what it takes, and I'm seeing what it takes, and now I don't want to start a podcast.
I mean, I have had a lot of people over the years tell me they want to start a podcast and asking for advice or help or just an opinion. And I'm all for it. I'm a big advocate for if you want to do that, do it. But stats will tell you that podcasts usually last about 3 to 5 episodes before they just kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
And this technically would be 284 of No Brains, No Headache.
Jeez.
The interview series is a little bit separate. So second interview of the interview series here in Arizona, sunny Arizona. Got another beautiful day.
It is. It's amazing. Was up early this morning, getting my kids out the door, went outside and I always forget to take the trash to the curb. So it's the day of, and who knows how early the guy comes. But I was out there in my short sleeve shirt and my shorts, and it was chilly.
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
You wouldn't think so, but it is. So all you that are up in the Midwest and where it's cold and snowy and things, Arizona is not all sunshine all day.
It's a
very early mornings. It's cold.
It's a wild concept that when the sun goes down, so does the temperature.
It's just wild.
Blows your mind. I mean, it is crazy that it drops down to sometimes into the 30s overnight, 40s.
People aren't prepared for that. Have you adjusted to
time.
You have?
When I went home for Christmas, I was freezing the whole time.
Yeah, your body adjusts.
And I thought I had my winter jacket still. I didn't, so I was just wearing this gigantic camouflage hunting coat the whole time everywhere I went. I recorded a podcast with the coat on. I was just freezing because we have basements in North Dakota. And so
What are those? I'm just kidding.
It's built into the ground and it is freezing down there.
Yeah, there's a few of them here, but not many.
Yeah, why is that? Just because it's so hard?
I would love to give you some scientific, technical answer as to why. Like I should know, being born and raised in this city right here. But I will say, I think it might have to do with the termites or the soil or something. I don't know, man. I don't know why people don't do it, but they should do it. Heat rises, right?
Correct.
So let's get lower so it's cooler in the summer.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think it's like wild when you walk around a neighborhood and you see houses with a second story. Like I feel like that's
like common, like everywhere. It's weird.
I feel like when I first experienced homes in Arizona, it was all just the one level. Like,
oh really?
Yeah. So apparently having a second story in your home is just a status symbol.
It's funny. I was as a kid, I was always like, I want a 2-story house. I want a 2-story, thought it was like some mansion or something. And then as an adult, I'm like, dude, my knees are not built for 2-story houses. Like, climbing the stairs up and down every day. No, thank you. Like, I would much rather have a single level.
Honey, why'd you sleep on the couch last night? I just didn't want to walk up the stairs.
That's 100%.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just lazy.
I had a 2-story house for years, and it was literally, I wasn't even that old at that time, but like I'm broken. My body is busted up from sports. So
did you play anything beyond high school?
Yeah, I played 2 years of college basketball.
Oh, okay.
But dude, I was broken after that.
Just the thinking
meniscus, ankles. I mean, you hear a snap, crackle, pop.
Just now, something just cracked.
Something just cracked.
Just thinking about running up and down the basketball court is just it's an exhausting thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of our colleagues, we put together a basketball team, and we played at the Chandler YMCA or Chandler Rec Center or something. And yeah, I probably missed half the games from some various injury. And so
they were probably hurting without you. They're like, we need Andy.
No, trust me, I was probably a liability at that point.
That is funny, because I was thinking of what the most ideal starting five would be out of the mix of colleagues. You're the starting center.
Center?
Yeah,
I'm a 2-guard.
Okay, I'll be the.
Who's there's some pretty tall people there though.
Mainly I just went with like tallest, and then once we got to like the shooting forward and guard positions, I was like, okay, who's athletic? And then I had too much pride where I had to put myself in the starting five.
Of course,
I was like, I think I can hold my own. I played basketball up until the 9th grade.
Okay, and
I had a pretty tumultuous season. So
was it fun though? Do you like playing? Do you still enjoy it?
I like shooting hoops, playing a game of pig or horse.
So if we got a team together, you'd probably be like, nah.
I would probably play, because looking at just my schedule, there's gaps there I'm trying to fill and trying to get out there and meet people and like do things. Like I love my downtime and alone time, but I also love socializing and doing things. So
social butterfly.
I really am. After a while, I'll go crazy if I have a couple too many days in a row of just like relaxing and chilling and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely like to get out there. And I'm a pretty outgoing, personable person. So, and I think you learned that, and I learned that about you. Andy and I worked with each other in the retail space, and that's how I met my guest here today.
It's sad to say worked in past tense.
Yeah, it is past tense for now. I guess we'll see what the future holds. But you got some obligations that are just a little more important than slinging sweatpants. So
a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, because I feel like we really started to find our groove for about the last 2 weeks there.
And I was like, peace out.
And then you're like, I'm out. So but that's okay.
Good times.
And now we're here, so at least we get to like hang out and
this is awesome.
Do some things off the clock, which the thing is, there was always just like a very they're always very brief conversations because like you are at work, so like you like have
hard.
things to do, and as much as I'd love to just stand around and shoot the bull, you can't. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that we set this up though.
this is great, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, you're the second guest on the interview series. Like I mentioned, have you ever been on a podcast before?
No, I have not. I've flirted with the idea. There's been a couple opportunities that I haven't really taken. So you're the first, man.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to really break you in on no brains, no headache.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I don't do these things for any kind of publicity or anything like that, but I definitely am just grateful just to hang out with my friend. And yeah, if you want to record.
Yeah, exactly. We got some refreshments before we started, and now we're all ready to go. It was funny because I woke up this morning and, you know, if this wasn't happening, there's probably a 97% chance that I would still just be scrolling on my phone in bed.
Oh yeah. Well, are you at your best right now? Like, do we need to take a break, take a nap, and then come back?
I feel really good, actually.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the zone right now. Pretty good energy. I did consume some cigarettes this last weekend, so the windpipes are just kind of recovering a little bit.
Those will kill you, bro.
I know, right? And maybe that's what I'm going for.
Nah, man. We're gonna have a good time today for sure.
Yeah, we're down here in Arizona, so I'm meeting a lot of new people, and you're kind of the rare breed that's like born and raised, correct?
Not many of us.
Yeah.
There's not. Yeah, born in the same hospital that my kids were born in.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. You think about the size of the town and where we are, because I know a lot of like people who stay like in a small town somewhere, you know, back east or wherever. That's pretty common. I think people to stay in that same area and have the kids, you know, grow up in that area as well. But no, it's a blessing, man. I love this place. I don't think I'll ever move. I mean, never know, never say never, but I love it. I love the landscape here. I love the I mean, the heat sucks, right? In the summers, it's terrible. But I would say, you know, you can always cool down. You know, if I was somewhere in the winter where I had to actually go outside and shovel snow to get to my car, no, thank you. I will never be living in you can't catch me in a place like that. So
yeah, it's a whole other task.
It
it's like, oh, I don't have to mow the lawn anymore. It's like, well,
yeah,
grab your shovel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're doing now.
Exactly. Yeah, manual labor.
You could argue that shoveling snow removal is worse than just mowing the lawn.
I would argue that too.
Do a lot of people have lawns in Arizona?
Yeah.
Like, what's that about?
Yeah, people are prideful about their lawns here.
Are they?
Oh yeah, dude. It's like a point of pride, man. I'll get texts from friends that are like, check out my lawn. You know, like, okay, cool.
Looks kind of green to me.
The edging looks fantastic. And you know, they'll edge the sides of it, make it all straight and cut it down. And yeah, it's different though, because we have like summer and then winter lawn. Because our summer lawn will die in the winter. It's just like Bermuda grass. But in the winter, you have to plant like winter rye. And that we're talking about
it's breaking down lawns in Arizona.
In winter rye is actually the really green stuff. So if you choose to do that, most people just let their lawns just die. But yeah, people are crazy about their lawns out here, man.
I feel like I see like just a lot of like rock gardens, and that's their yard.
You do.
Just a lot of
probably
rocks.
More so out here, just because it's easier to maintain and things. Anything green just dies.
Yeah.
So you gotta really take care of it.
What's the deal with turf? Like, do a lot of people just do?
So
turf?
I got an education on turf this year.
Good.
I didn't know anything about turf because I never really had it, and I have it now in my backyard. And I was researching the heck out of it, bro. Like, because I didn't want to get, you know, I want to get the cheap stuff. I wanted to get the like lush stuff that
you might as well invest.
Yeah, because it's a 15-year warranty or something like that. But anyway, I learned a lot. Wow. Yeah, so I have turf in my backyard now, and it's beautiful. You don't have to maintain it, you don't have to cut it, you don't have to do anything with it, and even my dog even pees and poops on it. Still doesn't smell.
Nothing happens.
No, it's great.
Do you have one of those turf like vacuum things?
No, I don't have one.
But you know what I'm talking
Oh yeah,
about.
I see ads on Instagram all the time.
Yeah, they're targeting you big time.
Big time, dude. Oh yeah, 40-year-old man. Oh yeah, you're definitely interested in this.
Yeah, the turf vacuum salesman is just licking his chops when he comes across your profile. He's like, oh boy,
Oh
I'm gonna
boy.
give old Andy a call.
You know, it's interesting because of my line of work, like it all relates. Because like what people want to buy homes, but they want to maintain their homes and
improve them.
And yeah, so it's like you never can have enough contacts. I just got another guy. He called me about, he's starting a roofing business. I was like, it's a good contact to have.
Yeah.
When you get an inspection on your home and your home's in limbo, whether or not you're going to be able to pay full price for it or keep it or whatever. And the roof comes back and something bad's going on with it. Well, call my guy. He's a good contact to have. So it's funny. Like,
yeah,
you can kind of relate it to a lot of different things.
Well, I mean, that helps your business as well, because then you're a good, resource for helping people out. On the front end and the back end.
That's kind of the goal, is helping people,
Yeah.
serving people. That's kind of why we do what we do.
Yeah, for sure. I think the older I get and the longer I roam this earth, I think that's ultimately like what I want to do, is just help people. And with doing stand-up comedy and podcasting and stuff, I think the idea is like we're just helping entertain them, but still people need to be entertained.
100%.
I think it provides an escape from just the everyday grind and the monotony and stuff like that.
So what's when have you done a stand-up show? Have you done a stand-up show out here?
I've only done open mics in Arizona.
That sounds terrifying.
It's not that bad. It helps if you don't give a shit, like at all. Like, I don't care if I go up there and bomb.
Yeah.
Then that is a true example of like a learning experience. Like failure is learning. So it's like, okay, I went up and I failed.
Mm-hmm.
You could argue, but now it's like, okay, I either know those jokes don't work, or I have to deliver them differently or time them better. Or maybe my energy was just off. So there's a lot that goes into it, but no, I haven't done a show in Arizona yet. Currently working on self-producing a show, looking at some venues, trying to just figure out all of the details and logistics that go into it. And yeah, I'm on a bit of a hiatus right now. This is the longest I've gone in my comedy career without doing comedy.
So this is something that like I didn't really know about you. Like when we started hanging out and first met, like I didn't know you did that stuff.
Oh, it's the biggest talking point at that particular organization of, oh, Jordan's a comedian. It's interesting because people think it's like the coolest thing in the world. And it's like, I appreciate that and I'm trying to be humble, but it's also not like, I'm not just self-deprecating. It's like, it's a grind. You're just in dive bars, like doing comedy in front of like 5 people.
You get paid well?
I can get paid. Like, that's why I self-produce shows, is because that way I kind of have a little more control over the potential of earnings there.
Gotcha.
Whereas, yeah, and I've done other shows in the past where people are like, hey, I'll pay you X amount to like come do the show, and here's what we want for time and whatnot. So those are always good, because then there's like kind of less on your plate. Like, you don't have to worry about, the venue and ticketing and setting up and tearing down. You can kind of just show up, do your thing, and leave and get paid for it.
Do you have your own LLC in comedy, or any kind of, you have your own company or your own?
It's NBNH Media, stands for No Brains, No Headache, obviously. So that is an LLC, and that's like, it's always interesting thing to explain to people, because it's like, they're like, what's No Brains, No Headache? I'm like, well, it's a podcast that we are currently on right now, but it's also like my comedy brand. So I would say I'm different in the sense of like most comedians, like, oh, John Doe, he does his own comedy and he's just working through his name. I kind of do it separately, where it's like, even if I'm on another show, I'll still kind of like promote it via No Brains, No Headache. So it's like my whole comedy brand. So everything between the podcast and comedy, and when Matt does comedy and stuff and we self-produce shows, that all falls under the No Brains, No Headache umbrella, because I truly believe at this point that brand is a lot bigger and more stable than we are individually.
Yeah. I got
So like it helps to do that. And then when I produce a show, it's a no brains, no headache show. It's not a Jordan Weichel show. It's not an anybody show. It's a no brains, no headache show. And then we've done live recordings of the podcast in the past at like a bar or something, of just like actual live audience there that have like a loudspeaker so they can hear it live, and then also recording it. So like that's just another thing we've done, and had sponsors involved in the past. We've had sponsors for the show. We do sell some merchandise, not a whole lot, but we do have that as an option to just kind of supplement everything. And it's interesting because there's really no handbook out there or any right or wrong way. You know, other businesses you could probably there's probably some sort of guide out there, like a roofing business. Well, obviously you need to know how to roof.
That's
we'll
true.
Start there.
It's a unique profession for sure.
Yeah. So the beauty is you can do it however you like, and still keep your individuality and just grow it from there. So that's pretty much what the No Brains, No Headache brand is. And I truly believe in like growing that brand. And yes, I can grow myself personally, but with that brand, kind of leverage both of them, so to speak. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's what No Brains, No Headache does. And that's, part of why I moved down here is just like a bigger market, more opportunities and stuff. And then of course I go on hiatus, and I just got really busy like with work, and I wanted to focus on some other things. I wanted to focus back on the podcast side of things more than comedy. So I'll get back out there. I'm really not too like worried about it. I know that I'll get back on stage and shake off the cobwebs and be just fine. And I think it's nice sometimes to take a little break. I'm kind of a little bit longer than I want to take a break, but since I started this has been kind of my focus of how I spend my free time. So I think as long as No Brains, No Headache is working towards producing some sort of content, whether that's jokes on stage or more podcasts, as long as we're doing that, we're doing our job. So yeah. And it's tough, like, of owning your own business and stuff. Like when you're the boss, nobody's going to tell you like stay on top. You got to stay on top of yourself.
It's self accountability for sure.
Yeah. But there's also the beauty of it. Like you can, roll your garbage out in your t-shirt and shorts in the morning and whenever you want, because
right.
You're like, do I want to start looking at emails, or do I want to dip into that Netflix documentary that just came out? And
no, it's such an interesting place to be. And I never would have thought I was be in this place where I'm running my own show. And one of the things that I think is the best, I mean, I could get paid nothing and be able to have the freedom to do everything that I want to do is such it's more than money.
Yeah.
It's worth more than money. I think being able, I don't miss anything of my girls. I have two daughters. They have, one's in high school now, one's in elementary, and they have stuff going all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't ever have to miss that stuff.
And that's important.
On a rare occasion, I'll be out of town or something, but yeah, that's way more important. You could pay me a lot less and I'd still be able to, and tell me that I'm able to do all that. I'd take that every time.
Yeah, the freedom is definitely something that, when I started my own businesses about 5 or so years ago, that's one thing that I realized that I really liked, just having that freedom. Once again, there's the other side of the coin where it's also self-accountability, where it's like, hey, you might not feel like, doing anything today, but you still got to
guess what?
it.
The bills still come to the mail, right? Like you have to figure it out. It's something, I think there's something to be said about our kind of a generation of people. And I know we're around the same age, I want to say. But I think there's people in that general age range who are tired of the idea of clocking in and answering to somebody for 40 years and then they retire. Like, I don't see that being something that's sustainable for the next generation of people. I think there's too much creativity out there.
Yeah.
And I think people get bored when doing the same thing over and over again. Yes, there was a situation back when, I don't know, 80s, 90s, or maybe even earlier than that, 70s, 60s. My grandfather did the same job for 50 years and provided for his family, and God bless him, right? Like he's like, that takes so much out of you, and it's admirable. right? To be able to do something like that and provide for your family and do things that you don't really like. Maybe it's monotonous.
Yeah.
I just don't think the next few years or next couple decades are going to look like that at all. I think there's going to be too many kids growing up saying like, hey, I can make a bunch of money on YouTube, or hey, I could do this. And isn't that like, I think I saw some stat like the number one thing that kids want to do is be a YouTuber when they grow up.
Which is just wild.
It's wild.
I mean, it's good. It can work.
Sure, it like massages their creative juices, right? But it's not something that to me, if you want to go all in on that, like you got to understand that everyone's kind of going all in on that, and only a few make it.
The competition is
insane.
Yeah.
When did you get on YouTube for the very first time? Because I got on it in 2005.
Like just to view something.
Yeah, just like understanding what YouTube was, making an account.
Yeah, probably. Right in the 2000s, and it was probably just like, oh, I want to watch Randy Moss highlights.
Right.
Well, where do you go for that?
Right.
Even if you type it in on Google, it's just going to take you to YouTube.
Right.
Your top thing is going to be a YouTube clip. So I would say that's when I started being a viewer of YouTube, and then
same with me. It was probably 2005 when YouTube started. I remember I was an early adopter. Not that I'm like something special, but I remember I watched it. I watched YouTube so early on because I had this guy who I worked with. He was showing me kind of what YouTube was all about, what Twitter was all about and stuff. And I remember I was on Twitter for so long ago. I remember I tweeted at Steph Curry and Steph Curry responded to me.
Yeah.
It was like, that was before Twitter was Twitter. And I remember YouTube and in doing all these stupid music videos on YouTube. Like I still have them.
Or bum fights.
I should show them. Bum fights. Yeah. World Star.
Gosh, what was that? Well, Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice, yeah.
That's like what that's like the early YouTube clips I was watching.
Yeah. But do you think about this for a second? I was throwing stupid stuff up on YouTube, like honestly stupid. It was very meaningful at the time. but you think about, man, and you see all these like people rating toys and making millions of dollars, and like we should have done something with our time on YouTube at the time we were on YouTube, 2005 to 2010. Like, why didn't we do anything, bro?
Well, and it's the classic thing of like, you can even look at cryptocurrency of like, oh man, I should have bought Bitcoin for $4 a share. Like, it's all those trends that you don't want to miss out on.
I know.
But it's also never too late to start. Like you can't get started until you start. So even with podcasting, it's not like Matt and I back in May of 2020 had some breakthrough idea of like, how about we record our conversations and put them out in the world? Joe Rogan was doing it for 15 years already at that point. So it's not like we created anything new, but like even just getting started, that's all you have to do is just get started.
Yeah.
And then I was explaining to you before we got started of just, I've started recording today of just like, you just kind of have to learn as you go, teach yourself a lot of things. And it's the classic saying of like, failure is actually just like a learning point, because you're going to mess up. Like even last week on the interview I had, I noticed a few things I could change. So I hopefully changed them. I guess we're going to find out if those went into play, but
you either win or you learn.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean,
there's no losing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can look at it like that, that's a super healthy way to go about it.
There was I had played a college basketball game at Central Arizona College back in the day. This was 2002 maybe. And I remember one of my teammates come out of the gym and we lost the game. And he's like, it's so tacky, but I remember it stayed with me. And I tell my kids this all the time. When you lose, don't lose the lesson. I'm like, that's a great saying. When you lose, don't lose the lesson. So there's always something to learn from losing.
Yeah.
And so I think failure fits right into that. Like you were talking about stand up. Like if you get up there, you're going to learn something by doing it.
Well, and I think the more you fail, then you just get like more comfortable with it and understanding like you're not always going to have those victories. You're not always just going to like hit it right on the head, dynamite, no matter what your work is or your projects or your passions in life. Like it's not always going to go, especially running business. I think we can both understand that like you have the plan, you try to execute that plan rarely does that plan go exactly like how you think it's going to go.
Yeah.
So you got to adjust on the fly.
Mhm.
And then when you come back around and do it again, hopefully you can have that figured out, and it's a lot smoother process where you're getting closer to those wins. So
no doubt.
yeah, we just went real inspirational for there for a
Yes.
minute. So if anybody out there thinks that they're a loser, you're actually just a learner. You're just learning a lot more than other people. Multiple times a day, or just on a day-to-day basis, you are learning. You're not losing, you're learning.
There you go.
Nerds.
So, I don't know what it feels like. But
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I'm sure.
But I guess let's talk about Mortgage Mac. Well, like, what is that? Explain it to me as if I have no idea what a Mortgage Mac is.
Mortgage Mac is just a it was just like some name I gave myself. Starting the mortgage business. Personal branding is really important. Any kind of service-based industry or any kind of industry that you start, small independent business, it's important to brand yourself. And it's all based off my dad. My dad was my friends all called my dad Big Mac. My last name is McClure, so a lot of my friends would call my dad Big Mac. And he was a school teacher forever, so he was called Mr. Mac, and then sometimes they call Coach Mac, and so because he was Big Mac, I was Little Mac. So it started off Little Mac Lending, and not many people know that, but like I started posting videos under Little Mac Lending, and then I was like, that's just kind of weird.
Yeah,
like
yourself little.
Called myself Little, and then not only that, it just didn't feel like it came off the tongue very well. I don't know, Little Mac Lending, but so I just changed it to Mortgage Mac and created my LLC and just branded the heck out of it. Created a logo. It's on my hat now. And personal branding is so huge, man. So huge. I don't think people realize that it's important to just and again, it's almost monotonous and repetitive to like, Mortgage Mac. You feel like you're annoying people with it, if you post a lot or whatever. But to me, that's 100% what you're supposed to do. Is you're supposed to annoy people.
Yeah.
And the reason you're supposed to do that is because they get it in their head, and it's like, oh yeah, yes, I'm annoying you, but you're gonna remember me.
Yeah.
You're gonna remember it. So unless they block me, then which I'm sure they have.
Unless they block.
I'm sure I have people that are like, oh, another boring mortgage video from you. No, it's something that's, again, based off my dad, and he passed away this past year, so it means even more now. So Mortgage Mac is like, it's cool, man. I'll never forget. I think I may have told you this before, but I'll never forget. I was at a high school football stadium or something a couple years back, and I was just watching. I don't even know what it was. Something going on in the field, and someone comes up to me and like, Mortgage Mac. I'm like, what? And it was like the first time anyone's ever like in the wild.
Yeah.
And it was a guy that I never even knew he followed me. Like, I didn't know it's not like I have a bunch of followers. I don't, but I didn't know he did. And for him to like associate me with that, was it like a light turned on, like a switch? It was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for, is personal branding. I want people to associate me with that moniker.
Yeah. It's so true. I mean, that's pretty much with podcasting when we just go out, to the bars or whatever, and no brains, no headache. It's like, sweet. Like, something
it's like
stuck.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, there's like some sort of, I don't know, some sort of not completion. That's not come full circle or anything like that, but it is something that like makes you feel good, because you're like, oh, okay, maybe I did, maybe I'm doing something right.
Yeah, that's a win.
It's a win. The funny thing is that you may have experienced this too, but a lot of times when you post stuff online, you're like, oh man, I just posted this beautiful thing. Like, this happened a couple weeks ago, where I put like an hour into this post, And I was like, this is going to be shareable. Like, this is going to be great. Like, this makes so much sense. This is a light bulb moment. And then like 2 people like it, and you're like, nobody shares it. And you're like sending it to people and they're not sharing it. And you're like, you start thinking to yourself, like, man, no one sees my crap. Well, it's not even important anymore. Like, well, why am I doing this? Like, you start really going down the rabbit hole. And then like you realize there's something called ghost scrollers. I never heard that phrase. One of my buddies told me about that phrase, ghost scrollers.
Okay.
It's like, I see your stuff all the time.
Oh,
you never know because you don't like it or follow it or comment or share it.
Don't engage with it.
You don't engage, but you see it. And I'm like, okay, I know there's people seeing my stuff. They may not be liking it, but they're seeing it. Or they may not be sharing it or commenting or, hey, good job, buddy. Way to post out. I know it took a long time for you to figure this out. You know, you're not getting any
I know
of that.
you put several hours into this and like you can barely speak the English language sometimes. Like the fact that you know how to read is huge, but hey, I saw it, man.
It's so
good for you.
It's such a it's such a good feeling when like you actually, people actually engage with it, but it doesn't always happen. And so, do you stop doing it? It's like you said, the grind. It's the grind.
Mm-hmm.
It's a necessary evil. Social media is a necessary evil.
For sure. You have to utilize it one way or the other. And
right.
I think like when people scroll past it, maybe like you say they don't like it. Well, that just means that they didn't do the physical action. I know it doesn't take a whole lot just to press the little heart button and then
double tap.
And then Mortgage Mac gets the notification that, oh, Jordan liked my video.
Right.
They still might like it. They just didn't do that
do
action. And I tell comedians that, like first time comedians or people starting, when they get off stage and, because when you're on stage, you're kind of in your own world. You got lights on you. You got the microphone. Everybody's looking at you. Right. So like you're kind of in your own bubble, just trying to like maintain a level of execution. And so when comedians get off stage, they're like, oh, I bombed. Nobody laughed or nobody liked my jokes. I say, that's not true. Like just because people weren't falling out of their chair laughing,
or you can't hear
so
the
obnoxiously
of it.
Dude, they were giggling. That guy chuckled. They were smiling over there.
Yeah, they may be laughing inwardly.
Yeah, they find it funny. It's just they're not completely expressing the audible response that you're looking for, which is a loud laugh or a boom of laugh. Like you were doing well, but you were up on stage, so you couldn't see what I was seeing from the back of the house.
Spotlights and all that stuff.
People were laughing.
Yeah.
They're like, that guy said, oh, good joke. You probably didn't hear him say good joke because you're up on stage in your own world. So,
oh, this guy's great.
Yeah, exactly. So like that,
this guy sucks.
Just because they didn't physically press the heart button, which literally takes 0.3 seconds.
You know what's funny though? I don't press the heart button on people's stuff.
I don't.
So like, it's funny because I get upset. Like, oh, nobody likes my stuff. I must be a terrible loan officer. But like, when do I catch myself and like, oh, I don't ever comment or like or share.
You gotta sauce some likes out there.
I do.
Put it out.
It needs
in the
to
world.
be a discipline. I need to get like, I wake up in the morning, just scroll like everything, just everything I see.
Just have like a couple casual beers one night and get like a little buzz going and then start scrolling. Everybody's getting a like.
Dude, I should or I could just hire like my kid because I don't want to do it. Just have her, hey, anything real estate related. Boop, boop.
Yeah.
Just do it for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
$12. Give me $12.
Can I have that job? It's averaging $24 an hour. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe 1 hour a week, but hey.
I will take it and pay my gas money and we'll call it even. So what is it that Mortgage Mac does? I mean, just lay it out for us.
Yeah, man. Independent mortgage broker.
Okay. What does that mean?
Independent mortgage broker means that I hang my license with a company that basically runs my loans through for me. So basically, like a real estate agent, for example, they have to hang their license with, EXP or, Remax, whatever.
Their agency.
Yeah, that's who they're hanging their license with. They own their own business, they run their own business, but they hang their license with whatever company gives them the best split or whatever. For me, I same kind of thing where you hang your license with. I've worked for 4 different mortgage companies. And this one is probably, hopefully, my last, because it's an independent mortgage. I can do whatever I want. They take a certain amount on the loan, but it's not much at all. It's pretty much mostly me. I have the freedom to price things differently if I want to. I have the freedom to use other lenders all over the nation if I wanted to. And it's just a really very freedom-filled, profession. And I used to work for a retail lender, which we had very little wiggle room.
Yeah.
And the rates were higher because when it comes to retail, like you have bosses and you have CEOs and you have people that get money out of your loans.
Yeah.
So your rates tend to be a little bit higher.
Everybody's trying to get a piece of the pie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of retail places have offices where they have to keep the air conditioning. How are they going to pay for that? So I worked for 2 different ones. I won't say their names. I don't even know if they exist anymore, to be honest. And I noticed that I was getting beat by brokers, independent brokers like me. And I was watching just the rates and what people were getting, and they were killing my rates. And I was like, am I really doing my clients a service here?
Yeah.
When they could just go down the street and get save themselves thousands of dollars.
Well, it's just like any sort of sales position where it's like, hey, I want to pass the savings on to my customer if possible,
Absolutely.
Because then you're more likely to close the deal, where in your case, switching to that independent side of things, you're able to pass that savings, which is just a lesser rate, essentially, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
because it's wholesale. It's wholesale brokerage. So basically, I can get wholesale rates from people, and there's not other, nobody's taking a piece of that pie.
Yeah, and it sounds like you also have some more freedom as well, like we were talking earlier,
absolutely.
Having that freedom or not having to get everything approved by 5 different
or anything
people
like that, or going to the office. And this is my office right now. If I get a loan over here, I brought my laptop, right?
Well,
so
I got a Wi-Fi password for you if you need it. So
appreciate that. It's a loan officer position. So I'm a loan officer, licensed since 2020, and basically just what I do is very large scale. What I do is I find people to find out I find out if people can afford a place to live. A lot of times people will go to a real estate agent and be like, hey, how can I, and they don't realize that a real estate agent doesn't do any of the finance side of things.
Yeah.
That they're there for other reasons, important reasons, but I'm there to make sure that they can afford a place to live. So that's what I do.
So like a first time home buyer, maybe they don't know a whole lot about owning real estate in their home and stuff. So they obviously need your real estate agent because they're going to help you out with a lot of things. But then your real estate agent isn't the only person you're going to be working with. You're going to be working with somebody like yourself as well.
You're going to be working with both, unless you have all the cash and you need a loan.
Yeah.
Right. Which
is rare.
It's rare. I'd say a lot of people moving over from California, they sell their house in California, which they can get a huge amount of money for. And they come here, or they come, to a smaller state or smaller market, and they can buy a house cash. That's pretty common.
Yeah, but usually like the first time home.
But that's not a first time home buyer. Yeah.
People.
So first time home buyers. You want to go to conspiracy theories? Are we doing this?
Yeah, let's do it. We have all the time in the world.
All right, so check this out. I believe that, again, this is my soapbox here. I believe that the powers that be are trying to make us a nation of renters. Okay. I do. I don't believe anyone. Okay, so let's think about the evidence as to why that is. In high school, did you ever learn anything about credit? Or did you ever learn anything about how to buy a home? No, nobody in high school doing that.
No.
The two that I remember, for me, the 2 senior year electives were government and economics.
Yeah, I took an econ class. But we just learned about the economy as a whole.
Yeah, you did, and then you really, you just did a couple little stupid things in econ, right? You just supply and demand
we watched Remember the Titans every time my teacher was hungover. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned in that movie.
There's some good lessons in there. But I just feel like there's something to be said about the fact that we don't learn any of this stuff prior to college. Let's move to college. Did you learn anything? If you were a finance major, maybe. But did no one taught you in college how to buy probably the most important purchase you'll make in your lifetime? They're just kicking you out and saying, "Hey, wing it, buddy. Good luck."
Yeah.
No one's teaching that.
Yeah.
And I came out, and I'm right there with y'all. Like, I came out of college, didn't know a thing. Didn't know if I was getting ripped off. Maybe I was. My parents were probably getting ripped off. My parents didn't even know who their lender was. They just figured that it just went straight to the real estate agent. The real estate agent picked a lender, which also is kind of shady too. When a real estate agent and a lender are that close that like the lender doesn't even talk to the buyer, like that's a little shady to me. Yeah. But you think about this happens all over the place. Like no one teaches us what it takes to purchase a home and in turn build wealth, because the number one way to build wealth in this state or in this country is home ownership. It's real estate.
Yeah.
And if no one knows how to buy a home, well, then the nation is just going to have a bunch of renters.
Yeah. Unless you're the Catholic Church, then you're going to own the most real estate in the entire world. So.
Is it the Catholic Church?
So they're up there. I mean,
are they up there? I didn't know that one.
I don't have a producer today. I am the producer, so I could look this up on my phone, but I'm pretty sure the Catholic Church like owns arguably the most real estate in the entire world.
There's well, yeah, definitely probably in the world because of the Vatican and all that stuff. But yeah, but that's to me that's a big deal. Like if people don't know how to do it, they're not going to go do it just on a whim and feel like they're getting ripped off. Because a lot of them are, dude. I have stories on stories of people getting just ripped off by lenders
on their rates.
Yeah,
rates like where they just had this ginormous interest rate.
Well, they may not have the highest interest rate, but they get charged for a lot of. So the number one thing when you're buying a house, the number one thing is you understand. You'll get a sheet that shows what your closing costs are, and on that sheet it'll say like what your rate is. And how much are you paying in closing costs or origination? And people pay a lot of money for certain rates. So somebody can come to you and be like, "Oh, dude, Jordan, I got this 5.5 interest rate. Like that's unheard of right now, right? The incredible rate, right? They got a 5.5." And I'm like, "Yeah, Jordan, you could get a 5.5 too if you're paid $12,000 for that rate, right?" So people don't understand. Like they say they got this great rate, but the way they get the rate is important to look at, and nobody looks at that. There's just a lot of things that people don't know about home buying, and I consider it my job because I was in the same boat. I didn't know a thing about home buying. I bought my first 2 homes. My wife did it all. I didn't know what. Oh yeah, go ahead, figure it out. You know?
Thanks, hon.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we knew our loan officer and everything, so that was cool. But I just didn't know anything about it, and I probably would have never sold a home if I had known. If I had known, I would never have sold a home. I would have kept a home, figured out a way to scrounge up money to buy the next one, and just keep my property and rent it out, do whatever I need to do, but keep it because they're not making any more. So it's like an old song, "Buy Dirt." Who sings that song? It's
some country guy.
Some country song. Yeah, "Buy Dirt," right?
Yeah.
Because they're not making any more of it.
This is true.
It's true.
This is very
so
true.
This is why my conspiracy is the powers that be, whoever they may be, are trying to keep us, the man is trying to keep us down by keeping us renters and relying upon other things rather than.
Well, and that's just one industry where they're trying to do that. I was explaining to a colleague that we both know, a rather young gentleman who's asking me questions about starting a business. And I kind of had the realization as I was explaining all the things that you need to do. I'm like, wow, this is kind of stacked. The cards are stacked against you to like start and operate and grow a business. It's even scary. Though like they say that's like, you know, the American dream. That's what the beauty of this country is, that you can do all that. When in reality, it's like, okay, so I need basically a lawyer on retainer. I need an accountant. I need a marketing person. I mean, ideally, you can do all that on your own and stuff. But like, as I was explaining it to this person who's asking me questions with my experience, which once again, don't quote me on much here. This is no brains, no headache. Let's just keep that in mind. As I was explaining to him, I was like, damn, like this is difficult. Like it's gonna be a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
So
It is a challenge. It is scary because like you understand when you start your own business or you start working for yourself, we already talked about there's no accountability. Like basically you have to just be self-accountable. But also the idea of like letting go of the 9 to 5 or letting go of the W-2 solid income that's repeating
and
each time.
security.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. And that's why entrepreneurship and that kind of stuff isn't for everybody.
No.
And I'm still trying to figure that out because my schedule sucks. Like I'm not the greatest schedule maker and I'm not very organized. I'm more
this
spontaneous.
is a huge accomplishment right here. Just getting you here. So
I'm just not organized as much as I'd like to be. I want to be more organized and I'm working on that. But yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I remember when we were still getting to know each other and like what we do outside of the walls that we were within. I remember I was like, "So, are you hiring?" And you're like, "God, no, I don't have the volume for that right now."
Yeah.
Like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
Because I would say one of my strengths is just being organized and like scheduled and stuff. And like, I did fail accounting 2 twice, but I eventually did pass it. And then it really came full circle, a real life experience when I started my businesses and like have to like run all my numbers and
and it's not even the stuff that you learn in school. Like throw that out the window because the reality is when you're in life and when you're doing it yourself,
it's way different.
It's way different.
It's like a nice like starting point, but it's like pre-level 1 starting point. And then when you actually get into it. So like, yeah, I'm very like nitpicky about like even just keeping receipts or let's keep all these expenses from one account.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was explaining to the gentleman the other day. It was just like, I would recommend just instead of having all these expenses come out of your personal account. So then you have to sift through, oh, I had Chipotle for lunch, but then I bought gas. Oh, wait, was that fuel? Was that business or was that personal? Like, I can't remember. That was 5 months ago as you're like doing your taxes and getting your finances squared away. And so that's like what I recommended. And once again, I just learned as I went.
Yeah.
You go through like the suffering of having to like crunch all these numbers and then you say, okay, I'm going to improve this. Like I'm going to do this a different way, more organized and like keep it all together and stuff. So
it's hard, man. It's not sexy.
No. I mean,
it's one of those things that you're wanting to, you have this grand idea of what you think it should look like. And that's down the road. And to get there is a grind and it's not sexy. And it's very tough.
Yeah.
And, we talk about social media and posting and those kind of things. Like it's hard for me to conceptualize a mortgage. Like here's a mortgage and it's not something I can show you. Like real estate agents, they get on social media and like, look at this house. This is beautiful. This is what I'm selling you.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I'm selling you money. Like, what do we do with that? Like,
which is a
how
crazy
can I show
concept.
you something pretty?
I'm selling. So you're spending your money to buy money, which just gets the brain in a pretzel.
Yeah. If you got any ideas on how to creatively, it's tough. We try to just do on social media, we do a lot of humor. Hopefully I haven't in a while, but humor and information that's helpful. And that's really I can't really show you what I have to offer because it's very conceptual.
Yeah.
It's not physical.
You're in a good spot for both the humor and education because this is no brains, no headache. And
Good.
Yeah. Good. We've made our dime on being funny, or at least trying.
I try to get like, what's popular right now? What are the memes out there? What are people seeing and that kind of stuff? And I see a lot of that stuff out, and people are like, oh, they can relate to that, and they laugh at that stuff, And how does mortgages fit into all that?
Yeah, you're taking a very unsexy topic and trying to put a little lipstick on it, and maybe the whiskey glasses, and
exactly.
So how did you get into it? You said you started in 2020.
Yeah, so I got into it from it's actually funny. There was a guy who moved. He's a mentor of mine. He moved from Hawaii to to Phoenix because he had contacted a guy who started a mortgage company already in Vegas, and he wanted to expand to Phoenix. And so he had moved to start it up at the Phoenix branch, the Phoenix location. And he was just looking for loan officers. And he's like, hey, man, he's a friend of my parents. And he was like, hey, any idea if anybody, do you know anyone that would want to do this?
Like he was coming to you for a referral and you were like, me.
Yeah. And so I just said, oh, I maybe want to try that because at the time I was working for a company that was going to go, they were actually moving to Chicago. And I'm like, I'm not moving to Chicago. So I ended up saying like, okay, because he said, there's no experience necessary. I can teach you everything and you can make good money. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. If I don't need to know anything, I don't have a degree or anything like that. And ended up starting with him. And dude, those first like 6 months to a year were just, I don't know what I was doing, dude. I don't know what I was doing. I needed a lot of help and it was hard. Mortgages are hard. Passing the test is hard, man. It doesn't make any sense. That test is weird, man. It's just like a 12-year-old wrote it. And it's like, you're just like, I don't know what to write here. Like the answers didn't make any sense. It was I failed the first time.
Yeah.
Barely passed the second. But once you pass, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Got to keep your license current. So.
And keeping your license current, is that just like an annual fee or something like that?
It's a fee, but you have to do a continuing education. So
yeah.
You have to do it. It's not that much. I'm not licensed in a ton of states myself personally. But if I wanted to get licensed in a new state, I would have to do their little education portion.
What states are you licensed in for our listeners?
Mostly Western states. I have Tennessee. I do a lot of business in Tennessee.
Okay.
I have a great realtor partner, a couple of them actually out there. And they're very loyal to me, which is awesome.
What about North Dakota?
I could absolutely get licensed in North Dakota. I'm not licensed there.
I mean, you might want to look into it. A lot of North Dakotans like to come down for the winter time.
Honestly,
North Dakota own property here, and then they own back
absolutely home. Well, North Dakota is like one of those states. Like I have a friend that his dad goes up to North Dakota and builds houses and things like that, and so it's like one of those states that's on the rise, I think.
For sure, ton of opportunity.
Yeah, tons, and even like I know obviously the snowbirds and stuff like that will come down here for the winters. But I knew a guy. I still know him. He's now a realtor, but he did oil. So worked some oil fields up in North Dakota, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a ton of oil jobs. Especially back during the boom, like 2009, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. There was an influx of people from just all over the country and the world, for that matter, who was coming to the state. And I think the show Landman has really opened people's eyes to like it, because you just don't think about it. You know, you throw some fuel in your car and you just get on with your day and keep going. You don't think of like, man, where does this go? I still don't understand drilling or fracking. That just blows, the concept just blows my mind. It's just like, wait, so we're shoving essentially a needle down into the earth thousands of feet, and then just, how do we do that? It confuses me. You guys are wrapping the chains.
You ever seen Landman, bro? They show you how to do it with all the things. And
yeah, I definitely seen Landman. I'm not caught up, so don't ruin anything. In the
I'm one episode back.
Yeah, I got 2 episodes to catch up. And am I watching because every female character is very good looking? Maybe. Can I say maybe? Yeah. Billy Bob. Like, I've never wanted to smoke cigarettes before until I see Billy Bob. Just every other scene is just like, it's like, oh man.
Billy Bob with his, like, it's so funny. He has his shirt tucked in, but his pants are always sagging in every scene.
Yeah, they're like the acid wash jeans that are not cowboy at all. But
yeah, totally.
Throw some boots and a belt and a pearl button shirt. That's actually what I wore for an interview the other day. It was a pearl button Wrangler shirt.
I have a couple of those.
Yeah,
I like those.
You can't tell.
Yeah, great. There's something about that show. You know the director or creator of that show,
Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, you know him. Okay, so I'm preaching to the choir.
Oh, say what you're gonna say. I just know who it is.
You've seen his other stuff, right?
Yellowstone, fucking 1827, 1496, 1928. He's got all these shows.
I'm a huge fan of him, man. He does some cool stuff. And the first time I was exposed to him was it was a movie. Sicario. I think he did the first Sicario.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember
I know
that movie?
Yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah.
Anyway,
does Blake Lively have a threesome in that one, or
No
am I
idea.
thinking of a different movie?
I don't think so. I don't
things,
remember her in
of all
that
things
movie.
I remember from that movie.
I don't remember her in that movie.
Greasy.
No, I think Sicario, and then he did, I think, Hell or High Water, which is another great movie.
Yeah.
He's just, everything he touches is gold.
Yeah.
So he's been doing some cool stuff on TV. I really liked it. The 1823 show, or whatever that was. 1890, whatever it was. That show made me bawl my eyes out.
Was that the one with Tim McGraw?
Yeah, dude. And his daughter, and she dies or something. Or no.
Spoiler alert, everybody.
I don't know if she died. Maybe it's his wife that dies. I don't remember. I just remember crying like a little baby watching that show at the final episode.
Shedding some tears.
I was shedding some tears, man. I'm a crier, bro. I'm a crier.
You finally wipe your final tear. You're like, all right, let's do some mortgages. And you're just in your boxers in your kitchen.
Tear-stained face.
You hop on a Zoom call. Were you crying a moment ago?
No, man. Allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shows, ever since I had daughters, bro, I cry at commercials.
I cried at the Sarah McLachlan the pet commercial where in the arms of an angel. I had a moment one day.
Yeah. And just have an emotional day.
I was rough. Yeah. And I just was bawling my eyes out at these dogs in cages.
Nobody. Sorry. Dude, I watched that stuff and I'm like, this has got to be fake. You think this is real? Do you really think they're taking? Yeah. Do you really think they're? I don't know. Maybe they are.
I don't know if we want to.
If you've donated to I applaud you.
We don't want to go down that road right now. Real quick, and then we can kind of just get into some more bullshitting. But if you say, just take me for example, I come to you just as an advice standpoint, what would you give either young homeowners or first-time home buyers? Is there just a couple bullet points that you could give them for advice of hey, here's kind of what you need to do and watch out for? What would you tell them?
Well, number one, I'd say don't count yourself out, because it's been so many times where people have counted themselves out and they can be approved for a home. And
it's probably a little bit of an overwhelming process or something, an experience in your life where you just think it's this big thing that you got to accomplish, and it really you can simplify it.
You look at the numbers out there, and you think about home prices right now, and they're insane.
Yeah,
especially here. And you're looking at prices, and you got to go way out in Santan Valley or Florence or something to get something that you can afford. And you look at that number, $500,000. I'm like, never in my life have I seen that type of money, right? So it's you think about that in terms of how much money you have, and you're there's no way. There's no possible way that I can afford that.
It's I make $50,000 a year, even if I work for 10 years and save every penny and have zero expenses, then I'll pay it off.
Yeah, but people don't realize the way mortgages work is not how it works. It's not how it works at all. So I know, talking about very entry level stuff, you just don't know. You don't know what you can afford until you talk to a lender. And I think a lot of times people would just be I'm fine renting, and just understanding with the understanding that they're going to be putting money in a garbage can, lighting it on fire for the next 10 years if they're just going to decide to rent. And the thing that's cool about mortgage payments, and this is a little just a small tidbit, if you're paying your mortgage each month, you're essentially paying yourself, because you think about equity, and what that means. And equity being that you're paying off your mortgage, which means you're gaining equity in the home. And a lot of times the home's going to raise itself in value. North Dakota, I could definitely see that.
My parents have lived in the same house for 33 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So the house is continuing to grow in equity and value, meaning that if you put any money down on the house and you got in, you're continuing to gain that equity. So as every mortgage payment that you make, now early on, it starts off you're paying more interest than you are principal, but it adds up down the road, and you're making these payments into your own personal piggy bank that you don't realize that you're doing. Because when it comes time to move, you can essentially take that equity that you've made and put it down on somewhere else.
There's real value in home or land ownership, as opposed to, I buy this sweatshirt, let's just say, is $40.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, nobody else is going to view this sweatshirt as $40, and it's not going to raise in value.
No.
That's just a very plain example. But if I were to ever be like, I need money, I need to sell my sweatshirt, be lucky to get like $5 for it.
Yeah.
If that's like an analogy.
Totally.
I don't know if it's terrible.
No, that makes sense.
Kind of dumb.
I would say another thing to tell people when it comes to mortgages, and for the first time home buyers out there, like when you get a lot of times people are like, oh, my credit sucks or my credit's bad, but they don't ever, they look at Credit Karma.
Yeah.
And that's why they say their credit's bad. But Credit Karma is historically and almost utterly every time wrong as far as what your mortgage credit would be.
All right, gotta delete my Credit Karma app.
I mean, I'm not. It may be fine for consumer debt and consumer credit and things like that, but when it comes to buying a mortgage credit, a FICO score, and things like that, it's likely going to be wrong. So that's one thing to tell people, because they don't realize that and you can buy a house with less than stellar credit. FHA loans, which is most of what first time home buyers get, the credit limit's like 500. But you could 580 would be like the good threshold to where you can get a decent rate. You don't have to put as much down. So like people don't think that. They think, oh, I'm in the 600s, I got to get my credit up to 750.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't. Actually, it doesn't even really help you.
Yeah.
Like if you get a house right now, an FHA loan at 660, and you have another loan at 720, they're essentially pretty much the same. Okay. They're pretty similar in rate. So like that's the way it goes. Like the higher your credit score is, the better your rate is, essentially. But there are times that doesn't really matter, especially with FHA loans. Yeah. So so people just count themselves out. Number one, they think they have to have better credit, and they just simply don't. Or what? The cool thing too is like you can actually, with a lender, they can check your credit with a soft pull, so they don't have to do a hard inquiry on your credit report. So that's what I do. A lot of lenders, people get scared. They don't trust lenders because they pull their credit and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't do that. I was like, hey, I'll do a soft credit pull on you. It's all I need to find out if you can do it. Yeah. So that's a good thing. And then the other thing is just like, we'll give you an example. I have a buyer right now. He's northern Arizona, southern Utah buyer, and they are paying $0 to buy a house. They're just wanted a down payment assistance loan, so covering their down payment with a silent, we call it silent second. It's a second mortgage, but that covers their down payment. And they don't need any money down. And then they're talking to the real estate agent, and I told the real estate agent, I said, hey, they don't have any money for closing. Is there a way we can negotiate that from the seller? Absolutely. So they're gonna get a home. They're gonna put no money down. It's gonna be an FHA loan, so it's legitimate government-backed loan. No money down, no closing costs, because it's covered by the seller. And they're gonna get this home that they can live in and start their financial journey of building wealth. So it's possible out there to do that. Absolutely. It's really cool. Nice. I think, yeah.
So don't count yourself out. Get an accurate credit score.
Yeah, or just don't realize that you got to realize that you can get a home with a less than stellar credit score.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, people are really scared about that because they screw their credit up in college.
Do you think it's part of your job is to like kind of calm people down of the whole process?
Oh, dude, I wear a lot of hats.
And then do you think, like, especially with the upcoming generation and having information at your fingertips within milliseconds, And like you were saying, like you're adding your own personal piggy bank for every payment you do. Do you ever think that you have to teach patience to people? Of
Yeah.
like, hey, 3 months down the road, probably not going to make a whole lot of progress here, but 3 years, 13 years, 23 years
Yeah.
after, then that's when it really starts to come into play.
People want, I mean, it's just like anything. It's this microwave society we live in. People want results right away.
Yeah.
And it's the people that put money away for their Roth IRA when they turn 18, right? It's those people that are millionaires down the road. And it's just one of those things that it does take some time. But it doesn't take the time to get there. That's what I mean. Like a lot of times people don't realize that too. I can also use high school and college transcripts if they don't have a job. Like I could use that for their income.
Okay.
Like it's crazy.
That's wild.
So yeah, I mean, I would just say if there's doubt there, who have you talked to that's a professional in the field? Because a lot of times people just count themselves out without ever talking to somebody. So I don't know, man. That's my personal goal. Like you asked, like, is it part of your job? Yeah, dude, it is 100% my passion. Is like letting people know, like, this isn't this is possible for you. Like, don't make the same mistake I did and sell every house that you buy, and not know the ins and outs of what it takes to purchase and the power of real estate. Like, people just don't know that, and no one tells them that. And it's because the government is out to get them.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's a legit government-backed loan. And I was like, I don't know if those words can go in all the same sentence, but
yeah. Oh, I hear what you're saying there. But yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to really get people to move on something like that. But when they see the benefits, I think that's my job, is to show them what their future could look like.
Yeah. May I ask what you were doing prior before you were approached with the idea?
Oh, before the lending idea?
Before lending.
Yeah, I was working in logistics. So I had a couple of friends that worked at a company called well, I shouldn't probably say the company. But they were kind of a crappy company anyway,
Okay.
So I don't mind. I was working with them. We had a good team, and we worked really hard together, and we worked really well together. But they decided they were going to pack up and move everything to the home base of Chicago. And that's when I was like, nah, man,
Yeah.
this isn't going to work.
It's a big ask for someone to move across.
Yeah,
the
I got
country.
kids. I'm not moving across. I'm in Chicago of all places too. Like, I don't want to move there. But I'm born and raised in sunny Chandler, Arizona. I'm not trying to move to Chicago.
That's fair. I'm a big Cubs fan, and I've always thought highly of Chicago.
You're a Cubs fan?
I am still a Cubs fan. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that about you.
Vikings, Cubs.
No Twins?
No, not the Twins. Are you shitting me?
I mean, I don't know. You like the Vikings?
Yeah, but when you grow up in North Dakota, you get the ability to choose whoever the hell you want.
That's
We
true.
don't have anybody, so
That's true. Yeah, we didn't. For the first 10 years of my life or so, maybe more than that. No, definitely more than that. 16 years of my life, we didn't have the Diamondbacks.
What did it come out in like 98 or something?
Yeah. No Diamondbacks, bro.
They didn't take very long to win a World Series.
No, they did not.
they didn't fuck around.
But because of that, I was a Dodgers fan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Still,
bro. I can't let them go just because the Diamondbacks decided to show up. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm a Dodgers fan through and through.
Yeah.
It's nice to be a Dodgers fan, though. It's not my money.
I bet it's nice.
It's not my money.
Dodgers fan. You have an all-star 1 through 8, and then your 9 guy is just, guy doesn't speak a lick of English, but he knows how to get on base. So,
oh, it's great. It's great to be a Dodgers fan. Winning I think they've won their division I want to say 10 in the last 12 years or something. I don't know.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, their salary cap, but they get mad at the Dodgers for being so rich and everything else. It's not my response is always, it's not my money.
Yeah.
They can spend it however they want.
I just think it's funny, like comparing the Dodgers to the Yankees, because they do the same thing, but the Dodgers actually get the results. The Yankees just disappoint every year. So I do take some satisfaction in that. I mean, and I'm a Cubs fan, so I can't sit here and act like, oh, my team doesn't do the same thing, just not on the same scale.
It's just a different scale, yeah.
For
sure. And I get it. I get why people are mad. That's fine. I'll laugh my way to the championship.
Yeah, congrats on the World Series.
Thanks, man. Took a lot of hard work for me to get there, but we did it.
I honestly thought the Blue Jays were gonna pull it off, and then
I was scared.
they just wore them down essentially, and
that last game though was unbelievable.
it was a crazy game.
Yeah, a lot of things could have gone wrong for the Dodgers and right for the Blue Jays, and they just didn't.
Yeah, the stars aligned perfectly.
They did.
I call them the Los Angeles Doyers.
Doyers. Yeah. I get a lot of Doyers gear.
Yeah.
From a local retailer.
And as you should. I mean, why not? That's the best thing to do. But yeah, mortgages, man. Wow, that was a lot to take in right there.
Dude, we need to do another one of these podcasts with Chris.
He already said no.
Whatever. If I'm with him, he'll do it. We're gonna talk about our other business venture. That's for another time.
Well, why not explain it now? The AZ Party House.
Yeah, we're starting a little business venture called AZ Party House. I can't divulge too much about it yet, but it's very unique. As you saw.
Well, I was physically there, mentally not so much.
Physically, you were there. I saw you.
Yeah.
We do inflatable nightclubs at birthday parties, and New Year's Eve graduation parties, things like that. And those inflatable nightclubs turn into like absolute party rock houses. And we have busting, crazy jams inside of those things. And it's like 13 feet high and 20 by 20. And there's lights everywhere. And there's haze. And
you got the smoke machine going. That's what threw me off the most last time.
Is that what threw you off?
I'm actually, you'd think maybe I was a smoke machine guy, but I'm not actually.
You're not a smoke machine guy?
Yeah, I'm not, I'm not.
You don't like smoke machines?
Yeah. If I can't put it in my lungs.
I tried to run haze, which is water-based. Like, it's way better than smoke. It doesn't have that smell. It doesn't linger like it does. And haze is actually it's more expensive. It's what like concert venues use and things like that. And we tried to run it and it wouldn't run. It was not coming out. And we're like, what the heck? So I took it home that night. And we just went with fog. And I tried it at home because I clean them afterwards and everything. So I put them up in the backyard, threw the haze on, worked just fine. So I don't know, dude. We'll get haze next time for you.
Okay. Got to figure out this haze issue.
Yeah, the haze issue was a problem.
And the lights come with it? Like, that's part of the...
Yeah, it's part of the deal, man. We do like 24-hour rentals. Where we just set up and tear down. Well, it's not 24 hours, but it's overnight rental. Because we don't
want to show up at 2 in the morning and tear this thing down.
Yeah, no, we're good on that. But we set it up. We set up everything inside. We do there's a couple add-ons we could do if we wanted to. But yeah, we're still a work in progress. We're still trying to figure out like the best bang for our buck when it comes to like the lights and the sound and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
But we did it on New Year's Eve and it was awesome. And I know you were there and we had a bunch of people there and it wasn't the ideal setup, but we made it work.
Yeah. I think what for me was I was trying to like socialize and like have conversations. And then you go into this AZ party house and there's, just smoke and lights and music, and it's also dark. It's like there's lights,
rave, bro. It's a
dark,
rave,
and like I'm just
ain't no socializing at the rave.
Yeah, no, I found that out the hard way, and it's just there's a lot going on upstairs. So
no, it was fun, but we want to do more, and so that's kind of I don't see very many of them. There's actually a lot of it going on overseas. So like in Australia, there was a lot of party houses that I saw. In Europe, there's a lot of inflatable nightclubs. There's not a whole lot here. They're starting to come though. They're starting to show up. I'll see them on New Year's Eve. Actually, I had 2 different people reach out and say, "Hey, is this yours?" Because they knew I was doing it, and I was like, "No, that wasn't mine. That was somebody else's." Now I feel like I gotta get on the horse.
Well, I mean, at least like you're in front of the trend, like we were just saying with YouTube or cryptocurrency or AI, all the trends that like if you get in front of and you can like dial it in, it's gonna like pay off pretty well.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're ahead of that one, so that's gonna be a good feeling.
I feel like I could have done better. I have this equipment for 2 years and I've never done it. Yeah, dude. So
Yeah, I've had these microphones for 6.5 years. Finally decided to plug them in and see if they work.
Yeah, right. No, it's fun, man. So we're gonna talk more about that as it goes on, and we're trying to get into different parties, like birthday parties, bachelorette parties, things like that, where we can do themes and stuff. We have like a red carpet.
Yeah,
I didn't pull it out for that New Year's Eve party,
probably
but
a good idea.
we have stuff like that. We can do like big backdrops or photo booths and stuff. So
Nice.
It's gonna be cool, man. Excited about it.
The rental business is a good one to get into. I essentially ran one of those for my real estate company. Basically, like, it's not like we didn't like set it up to, the proposition wasn't like you're renting this from me, but that's what was happening.
Yeah.
They were just renting my equipment essentially for
What kind of stuff did you have?
We just installed for sale signs for residential listings. So the
Yeah.
for sale sign hanging out in front of your house. Because the posts, like the wooden posts, unless an agency provided them to me, I would like keep them and maintain them and store them. But other than that, outside of the one agency that provided them, I had my own wooden posts. So like, to me, it was like, you're basically just renting this from me.
Yeah.
And like, it's great because you just put like, my cost essentially to build one of those was, I estimated to be about like $35. One order would pay for that, and then you can use it. Hopefully you can use it over.
So how much does a real estate agent pay for someone to come out and post in someone's yard and hang their sign?
Like, what did I charge for my services? It varied on the customer, because like, if a whole agency would go through me and like promise me that every single one of their agents, no matter what, is going to call me, I would work on a bulk discount. But I would range it between $50 to $100, depending on the agent or agency and like what they needed and stuff. And then also had there are some add-ons, like, not that they were getting much value out of it, but I just had to charge. So like, I could, if it was out of town, I could charge mileage, service fees.
Could you do it here? Have you done it here?
I could. I don't want to, though.
No. Okay.
There's a reason I sold the business.
Okay. I mean, I'm saying I have a lot of agents.
Yeah, no, I trust me. I've thought about it. And I always appreciate everybody's input on telling me how to live my life. But I just like, no, I'm done. Like, I did it for 4.5 years. I built it from $0 all the way up to when I sold it. And I was very happy with that. Learned a lot of lessons, met a lot of great people. My clients definitely like miss me. And, when I broke the news to them that there's going to be a change in command, if you will. And, they were sad. So I knew I did something right. And that like helping people, like you said, it definitely made me feel good. And it was just great to have I had a great working relationship with the people that I would work with, the communication between me and whoever my client was, or representing my client that I had to work with. I had a great relationship with them. I was always very transparent and just on top of it. And that's really all it took and stuff. So winters in North Dakota sucked because like I put these suckers in the ground because there's also wind in North Dakota, lots of it.
The ground's got to be like frozen.
It is frozen. So, and they're like, how do you do it? And I just would always respond with very carefully. Like, it's just going to take a little more time than digging into some soft soil. It's just frozen soil, essentially concrete. You can still get through. Oh, there was plenty of times throughout the winter where I would be out there for 15 minutes, have to go in my truck, warm up, thaw my hands out, and then head back out, keep going, and then you'd get it done. But it definitely takes some. So I think the new owners probably right now, we're recording on January 20th back home. It's cold, and they got a winter storm, and the temps are very low. So I'm sure the guys now are like, you know what? Jordan wasn't kidding when he said that it was going to be tough. But I showed them the toughest, one of our very first meetings when I approached them to buy the business. Our first time I took them out was last February. So I was like, here's the deal. This is going to be the toughest. And I just want you to see the suck, just so you are aware of what, because I don't want to sugarcoat it. Like, I think you can tell that I'm a pretty honest, straightforward guy.
Yeah. So here, it would be it wouldn't be the frozen ground here, but now here it's like rock.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And I think funny thing is, when I first started the business, I had no idea where did I go. YouTube. And the guy was from Arizona who had a YouTube video of like, here's how to build the posts and do this and like here's that
cool.
that and stuff. So
YouTube's changing people's lives left and right, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm super proud of it. Proud of myself for sticking with it, and I'm happy that I left a legacy behind that serves my home community. So, as cheesy as that sounds, I'm very thankful for that. And they kept the same name for the company, so like that name still lives on.
Cool.
And I was really excited about that. Do you think you have the entrepreneurial bug, like now that you've started your lending and now the AZ Party
I have
House?
the bug. I don't know. I don't know if it can fly. I have the bug, but it's like, it's not, I don't feel like I'm good enough at it, but that's kind of like every entrepreneur they ever talk to. They always feel like they're not as good as they could be.
You could go into the office and still not feel good about it,
Yeah.
about your job.
That is 100% true.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit. Yeah. I like what you're saying. Some of the stuff you're saying about just like, spreading your wings and trying new things. And I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
And like Party House is very different than mortgages.
Yeah.
Very different.
I mean, Party House, mortgage, house, mortgage.
We used to have these house parties when I was in college and my early 20s. We would have these house parties and they would just turn into dance parties, bro. I love to dance at these things. We do all these lights. We'd borrow stuff from the local church. We'd get these huge speakers in this living room.
Borrow the crucifix from the local church, decorations.
What? We'd have this giant like speakers and stuff on stands and all these cool lights. And like, I remember having like disco balls and stuff. We would just do this stuff and we just dance in people's living rooms. It was like maybe weird, but like, that's what we did. And it was so fun. And me and a buddy of mine just had all these ideas about what we wanted to do with it and how far we wanted to take it. And yeah, it's one of those things is like, that's what I was going back to what we talked about earlier about the younger generation just tends to like get bored with stuff. So like they'll grab something and then they'll gravitate towards something and then they'll move on. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like one of those things that's like continuously like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this anymore. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's try this. Let's try that. So I feel like that's kind of where it goes.
Nice. Well, it sounds like you got a lot of things going for you. And I always think like getting out of your comfort zone is really how you're going to grow as a person. So if you're trying new things and figuring it out like that's just like how life works sometimes. And I think I talked about it last week on my last interview of just like you always have this idea of what the goal to accomplish is, but it's like, what do you do when you get there? Mm-hmm. Like, why not just enjoy the ride to get there? Mm-hmm. Like, and you could even use the analogy of just like a road trip with your friends. Sometimes the actual drive, like say you 3 hours to a cabin or a casino or something, sometimes the best part is just that ride with your buddies of bullshitting in the car. And
you're making me all inspirational. I'm getting all inspirational on me.
Well, that's the idea with these interviews is we're going to mix a little bit of fun with education and inspiration all at the same time.
I tell my daughter the same thing. Like the reason I want her to play high school volleyball is not because I want her to get like some scholarship, even though that'd be awesome. But because of those times in the van with your teammates and those times you get together with your teammates and do these things, these road trips that you take, and so fun, dude. I mean, I did that basketball all throughout. Like it was just so much fun. And that's kind of like, that's the destination instead of, that cheesy quote, the journey is the destination.
For sure. What was the farthest you guys traveled in your basketball days?
Well, we were just
was it like all in Arizona?
It was all in Arizona, okay. But there was some Cochise College is right on the border of Mexico and Arizona, in Douglas, Arizona. Their team was really good. I'm like, how are you guys so good?
This doesn't make any sense.
Like, yeah, where are these guys coming from? They're like super athletes down there. Yeah, we traveled to Northland Pioneer, which is a college in Holbrook, Arizona, which is like up by the Painted Desert and stuff like that up there. But yeah, there's some long trips.
Yeah, that was definitely the best of times. And
yeah,
I always like when I do an actual comedy show, literally the best time of the show is like, going up on stage and giving a killer set, like feels good, great adrenaline rush, but sitting in the green room, just talking with the other comedians and the venue people and just like you're having some beers. Just like that's like the best time. It's just
Yeah,
hanging out with those people who
you're
are
right.
all like-minded. We're all like going towards the same goal. Comedy is interesting. There's a saying that comedians are out for themselves but in it together. So it's like this like kind of little weird balance there.
Little cult following, or little cult that you guys are in.
But yeah, I love cults. So
You do love cults, dude. We did talk about cults.
I'm starting my own. So but I was like, screw this. And that just says so much about me that I don't want to be a part of a cult. I want to start a cult.
Yep.
And we're going to get it done. You're more than welcome to join. So
We'll have to look at the bylaws.
First step, you got to get a mortgage with Mac over here. And then
Mortgage with Mac. That's funny.
But it's probably time we got to wrap this puppy up. So
Yes, sir.
where can people find you and check out your stuff? And if
I'm mostly on Instagram. Instagram has kind of been my bread and butter, if you will, when it comes to branding and getting the word out and educating people. So mortgage.mac on Instagram.
Okay.
If people want to follow, that'd be awesome. But more than happy to get my license out there in North Dakota if I need to, man.
If somebody were to like reach out to you from a state that you're not licensed in, do you have resources?
Oh,
to
absolutely.
refer them to somebody?
Yeah. I have a team of people who basically we can help each other get things done. So
do you find yourself giving a lot of like free advice, not in a bad way, but
100%.
like you're talking with people that may not be your client,
I
but
prefer
hey, I'm
it.
still going to educate you and help you out?
Absolutely. There's a couple that moved down the street from me. They were using the new build lender that we were kind of forced to use when you buy a new build property. Yeah, I told them to come over because they were like, I have so many questions. I found them on like a forum, like a Queen Creek forum. And they had so many questions about it. I was like, come over. I'm already moved in. Come over. And so I came over and I just helped them understand it all. Because
Nice.
I really like, again, it boils down to, are you serving people? Are you helping people? That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Clearly, yes, you'd love to have a deal out of it, but that's not why you do it. You do it because you really want people to understand like what it takes to build wealth. And, I believe that you'll benefit from that down the road.
Hell yeah.
People will give you, people will shout your name in rooms that you're not in.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's just when they say your name or bring you up when you're not around in a positive light, of course. They're like, that mortgage Mac guy sucks.
Yeah, dude, he charged way too much.
No, but Andy, I super appreciate you coming over.
I appreciate you, man.
I'm glad that we could schedule this and make this happen. And let's not be strangers going forward, even though we won't be seeing each other. Let's try to make it a more regular thing to hang out. So,
yeah,
and I appreciate you being one of my first friends here in Arizona.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. That's been awesome.
It's it's not easy moving across the country, even. And I was so hard on myself because I'm like, oh, I'm outgoing, I'm personable, I'm funny, like I can make friends, no problem. Still kind of fucking tough. So.
I'll tell you right now, when you're in Arizona too, it is more difficult than other places.
And why do you think that is?
I think people here, I've said this before, and I got to be careful, but a lot of times I see Phoenix area as like a wannabe LA.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's still got some like West Coast, some West Coast influence here. And a lot of the people in LA are very business minded, nose to the grindstone. And you go to like, in the South, for example, people are slower pace of life. They stop and they talk to you and they want to know more about you. Yeah. But here it's like, boom, boom, business.
Oh, you have nothing to offer me, therefore I have no time for you.
Yes. I've seen that quite a bit. Now there's obviously exceptions to that.
Yes.
But it's a little bit different here than I think it's changed in 20 years.
Yeah.
I think it used to be a little more like friendly, I guess you could say. People are still cool, but I think that a lot of times there's some sort of like weird California bent to it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because you go to like a coastal town like San Diego and everybody's like super chill. So it's like, it's not, I don't want to lump everybody into that, but yeah, there's definitely some
$50,000 millionaire.
What's up?
$50,000 millionaires.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard somebody use that quote in Scottsdale, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's me.
I stay away from Scottsdale.
I also get a lot of Western vibes. Like it took me by surprise of just like how much like cowboy and cowgirl and the Western lifestyle is still ingrained in like Arizona as a whole.
Yeah. I'd
It's
say
interesting.
Queen Creek is one that's very
Yeah.
much so, like
Yeah.
where I live. And, the more on the outskirts you go, is the more you'll see that.
Yeah. Makes sense. But
Yeah.
well, once again, dude, thank you so much for coming on. And
Yeah, man.
hopefully we can do it again in the future. And
I'm down whenever you want.
We'll stay in touch. So that was Mortgage Mac. I'm
Thank
Jordan
you, guys.
Weichel. Thank you, everybody, for listening this week.
Appreciate you.
No brains.